Oh my.
Always something.
It is always something.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Two Dumb Yinzers. Yeah, here we are, baby. It's Saturday morning. This is episode 359.
Whoa.
359. Gonna be finishing up the week tomorrow, Mike, with 360 shows.
Oh God, that's a lot of shows.
It's a lot of shows, man.
You know what? That's more me time for people to, for the fans.
That's right.
Because if there's one thing the fans love, it is me.
That's so true. That is so true.
I'm a man of the people. I'm like Kennedy. I'm a man of the people.
You know what's really of the people? Something that just came back in the Pittsburgh area here for the last 2 days. Up at Kennywood, the Raging Rapids made its way back.
I saw that.
I thought, how could you not have the Log Jammer and not have the Raging Rapid? I mean, can you even really call it Kennywood anymore?
You can't. No, you have to have both. The Raging Rapids is my kind of ride. I'm not a big roller coaster guy because I cannot fly if something goes wrong. But I am a strong swimmer. So if something happens on those rides, I think I can do all right. I think I'd live.
I especially like when you get all the pee water splashed on you.
Oh, that's the best. I don't know. I don't care who you are. That's the best.
And you know what else is really cool? Whenever there's the people up in line that could spray you with water.
Yes.
I like that. I like spraying people in the face when they're not paying attention.
Exactly. I remember, my God, it was like 8th grade band. We went on a field trip. There no way to band competition at Kennywood. And then we were able to do all the rides and stuff. We did like the Raging Rapids like 8 times in a row. We just kept going and going and going and going. And I would, my God, Derpy just coming in out of nowhere.
What did you? What did you do in the band, Mike? What did you play?
I played the trumpet.
You played the trumpet. Were you any good?
No, God, no.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't imagine so.
No, I maybe if I practiced more than I did, I would have been better.
Yeah.
Like I kind of feel like I'm tone deaf, but I knew what I was supposed to sound like.
You could have been Louis Armstrong.
No, I'm not that good.
Good morning. Welcome, Derpy. How you doing, man?
I'm all right.
I want to talk about this Pirate game a little bit yesterday. I don't know if anybody caught this or not. The Pirates faced the league leading MVP candidate at this point, Ohtani. Now he gave up 4 home runs to the Pirates yesterday. He gave up, yeah. Henry Davis hit 2 home runs against him. The first player ever to hit 2 home runs off him.
First player ever in history to hit 2 home runs off the greatest player of all time.
He started out the game with the single. He came along at 2 more. He hit 2 home runs. He went 3 for 4 on a day with 2 RBIs, 2 home runs. First player ever, as Mike said, to hit 2 home runs off of Ohtani. Also, Big Jack Sawinski hit number 20 off of him. He had also 2 RBIs, and Troy had his. I don't know if that's either his 3rd or his 4th since he's been back from his injury. And
man, we won back-to-back jacks off of him, 4 in one game, and then Henry Davis, and it was still not enough.
We still lose. Yeah, we lose 8-5.
I love it. I normally this is the kind of game where you score 5 runs, you think you're going to win, especially on a pitcher who's Ohtani's not doing too bad this year, 8-5. He's pitching really well. You think, all right, we put up 5 spot on him. We kind of rock him. I think we'd have a chance. No, we did not.
Ohtani goes 6 1/3, lets up 6 hits, 5 earned runs, 1 walk, has 9 Ks. At the plate, he had 3 walks and 2 runs.
No. Not a bad night.
No, not a bad night. I wish anybody could have had a good, these are the kind of nights that you wish
sounds terrible.
At least one of your guys could have this kind of night. We never have any. This guy does it on a regular. I'd give them about half of our team right now for a trade for him. I would literally, because here's the thing. Anybody that was a name is not any of these young guys. Maybe put a nice little package of about 6 guys together. Send them out there and see what maybe throw a draft pick in. You know what I mean?
You can't trade draft picks in baseball.
Well, here's the thing, because you have all these young people, you're not going to want to trade the young guys, and they're not going to want the young guys. A lot of times in these kind of trades, I don't know what they want. But
we're going to trade all of our bad players for Ohtani.
I'd give them everybody. I would give them, everybody would be gone. Connor Joe would be gone. Castro would be gone. You know what? I'd
They
even
need
throw
to
Key
pitch
Brian
more.
Hayes. I'd throw Key Brian Hayes in there because Triol is doing so well. He had another hit last night. I'd throw Key Brian Hayes in there.
You know what? I would give them our owner.
Yeah.
We'll trade Otani for our owner, and our
Maybe a
owner
couple
can take all of our
pitchers.
money. Yeah.
I'd throw Holderman in there.
Might as well throw Oviedo in there. We're just
Oviedo's
throwing stuff
gone.
at the wall to see that will stick.
Even the old fart,
Rich Hill.
Nick Mountain.
Yeah, like you would be if I would
put a
the
package
Angels,
together that they couldn't refuse.
oh, they would easily refuse it. You would like really to get him. My God, imagine like seriously what you would have to give up to get him.
You probably have to give up your firstborn.
You probably would. You know, I'm okay with that.
Maybe even all 6 Super
Pack your
Bowls.
stuff. You're going.
The Angels, they do improve to 50 and 48. The Pirates dropped to 42 and 55. However, they did not lose any ground. They're still 11 and a half out in the division. They got game 2 of 3 tonight at 9:07. Probable starters are Ryan Brewer for the Pirates. Apparently, he had to start somewhere. I don't know. I don't recall seeing this guy or who he is. He has a 1-0 record with a 4.63 and 11 Ks. The Angels are throwing Reed Detmers, who's 2-6 with a 4.42 and 113 Ks. Mitch Keller will be on the hill tomorrow for game 3 against Tyler Anderson. At this point, as we were saying the other day, it's almost just as fun to see what these guys are going to do now if they continue to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're going to just set yourself up for failure if you keep rooting for them to win. I mean, they're 1-6 since the All-Star break. They won 3 games in July. And I just don't think they're going to pull it together. I don't think that they're going to do it.
They're not. And that we're approaching to be one of the worst teams in baseball. We're not going to catch Oakland and we're not going to catch Kansas City, but we are dangerously close to catching. Let's see, the Colorado Rockies have 38 wins, Nationals have 39, and the White Sox have 41 wins. So we are like dangerously close to being like the 3rd worst team in baseball right now. After being the hottest team in baseball, the talk of the land, the bandwagon was full to start the season, and this is how far our battle and buckos have fallen. And like Ryan said, I'm enjoying the ride just to see how bad it can get. You figure
I'm looking at August right now, and it looks rough.
Oh yeah, it's going to be rough, but hopefully, August comes around. We'll be focusing our attention on the Steelers, but right now I'm enjoying this race to the bottom. We might be picking, 3rd in the draft this year. I can't wait to see how bad it can get. You put up 5 runs on the team. You think you would win. You rock the starting pitcher for 4 home runs. You think you have a chance, but no, we can't even beat the Angels, who are just as not as bad as us, but they're a bad team this year.
After the big 0-for series that Big Stacks just had against whoever the hell was we just played, he comes out last night and goes 1 for 4. Big money well spent.
Hey, you know what? When he went up against, he had the same amount of hits as Otani. Okay. Well, I'm going to forget the 4 walks that Otani drew. Okay. I'm just going to focus on the hits. Okay. Big Stacks and Otani each had 1 hit.
There you go.
You don't look at any other stats.
The 2 that are in a class
right
of their own. You know what's crazy about Otani? And I just learned this, and this is something that people probably knew that pay more attention to the American League and the Angels specifically, was he counts as 2 different players. So if he's pitching and he gets yanked, he's still in the lineup because he's DH, or if somebody hits for him in DH, the pitching, he can still stay in as a pitcher. And that's pretty crazy if you think about it.
I never thought about that.
Neither have I.
I thought he would be, pitcher DH. You're taking up that spot, but that's kind of cool. How that there's an exception in there for people who are this good, and there should be.
And in our age, I've seen a lot of baseball, but we've never seen a guy like this, and not in my life.
No, not even
close. Back in the day with Babe Ruth and guys like this, you've always heard of it, but we've never personally got to experience a baseball player that does this, and it's really interesting. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching the game last night. It was, I passed out halfway through. As a matter of fact, I missed half the home runs, but you know what? That's besides the point.
You missed all the exciting parts.
I did miss all the excitement, but it's fun to watch him, and it's crazy when he's up at bat. The crowd they go crazy over every single pitch.
Mhm.
If you're watching, it's almost like, when you're watching the ninth inning of a game, and the pitcher's, firing in that there's 2 strikes and the pitch, and everyone's going wild. They're cheering on every pitch. That's what it's like with him every time he's in the box and somebody throws a pitch at him. The crowd just starts going crazy. It's really something to see.
He's at
like
that,
time stay still.
Yeah, it's kind of like how when Bonds was going for the record and
right.
And so they were like, you would watch those at bats and every pitch was intense because something special was gonna happen. And kind of like with Ohtani, something special can happen. He's just that good of a player. He has he's approaching 40 home runs.
I think he has 35 home runs.
Yeah, 35 home runs. Yeah, because last year he finished up with 45. Yeah, so anything can happen, man. You get a dynamic player like that. You just cherish it, man. You, like you said, you live and die with every pitch when he's up there.
I'd give them about 8 guys. I'd give them the Pirate Parrot, some Permani sandwiches, whatever they want.
Whatever they want, we will give them. Like, you cannot have Mitch Keller, you cannot have Henry Davis, and the pitcher we
any of the young guys, they have to leave them be. But anybody else, they can have.
You can't build for the future on your team. You got to take all of our old guys.
Take Santana, take Bay, take Joe.
I'll throw in McCutcheon, the Pirate Parrot.
You can have McCutcheon.
You can have the statue of Willie Stargell. Whatever it takes.
The David Bednar bobblehead that plays Renegade. Throw one of them in there for you. I mean, the whole deal.
That's the sweetener right there. If you that put it over the top, baby.
And as I said, keep all your young guys. And of course, the Angels would never go for it, but that would be the most ideal situation. And in the future, this would be our rotation: Ohtani, Keller, Quinn Priester, Paul Skeens, and I don't know, at the 5 spot, maybe a Vince Velasquez or something. But that's a pretty promising rotation in the majors.
Yeah, exactly. And hopefully the Angels owner and GM is just as dumb as ours, and they'll go for it, man. I'll even throw in Sauerkraut Saul or whoever these stupid pierogies are. I'll throw in the whole cast of characters.
The one that's hurt, you could have him. I noticed one of the pierogies is on crutches.
That might be our best player right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm over this. Let's talk some football.
Wait. Oh, thank God.
The Washington, whatever they are going to be changing their game or their name more than likely next season.
Yes.
Team minority owner Magic Johnson announces that this team is going to be changing their name. I have the top 5. You may have seen this, so just bear with me.
Oh, I did not. I can't.
These
wait.
are the top 5.
I didn't see them.
The top 5 ideas at this point for the Washington football team, because everyone hates the Commanders. You even have a lot of people. I'm reading through the threads, and they have these names I'm about to read off to you. But the more I'm reading through the threads, so many people are like, just go back to the Redskins. Everybody loves the Redskins, apparently. But these are the 5 choices that they
apparently think it's the 50 still.
Number 5, the Washington Majors.
Stupid.
The Washington Majors. What do you like that, Derpy?
I like the Commanders more than the Majors.
You like the Commanders more than the Majors, all right?
Yeah.
Number 4, the Washington Red Tails. The Washington Red Tails. Apparently, it goes back to some
Fighter jets.
Yeah, right.
Fighter pilots. Yeah, their
That's
planes
not
were
bad.
red.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
I'm sure. I mean, it's one specific group. I'm sure one day it's probably going to offend them too. So I don't know if we should go that direction. Number 3, the Red Dogs.
Stupid.
The Washington Red Dogs. Who do you play next week? The Washington Red Dogs coming to town. The Red Dogs. Derpy, what do you think about the Red Dogs?
That's for a specific team already. That are the Clowns.
I thought they were the shit Browns.
That too.
Number 4. This is the second big idea. The best idea, number 2, that they have for their team name is the Pigskins. The Washington Pigskin. Can you see why this organization's always terrible? I mean, look,
yes,
just
you
look
can't
at
even
this.
you have all these great. You have a great opportunity to rebrand yourself, to more or less wash away the stank of Dan Snyder, and you're coming up with these terrible names.
The
What about
Pigskins.
What about the Washington Red Knights?
The Red Nuts.
Red
Nuts.
Knights. Knights.
The Red Rockets.
Now that I could get into this.
See, yeah, now
Why?
we're cooking, boys.
Why?
What's number one here?
Number one right now?
I think it's
The
Red
top
Wolves.
5 names that are out there that are possibilities for the Washington team, formerly known as the Redskins, almost soon to be formerly known as the Commanders, is the Washington DC Football Club, DCFC.
That's the worst
Go
one.
back to the Washington football team. I like that. People were getting used to
Washington
the football team.
Yeah.
Or
The
how about
Washington
this?
DC Football Club.
I
Why
like
can't
the
it-
Commanders at this point of
Go with like the
all those.
Washington. Go with the Senators. The Washington Senators.
Well, Senators will work too.
Just something something better. My
Something
God, like,
Army related.
no, f the Army related stuff. F all that stuff. There's too much militarism in the football anyway. Let's go with the Washington. Go with the Hogs. Name them after the offensive line that everyone remembers and loves. People show up to the game dressed as Hogs anyway. The Hogs.
Yeah.
That
I don't
could
know.
work.
I mean, look at how terrible that this is for. I mean, these got to be the 5 worst names I've ever heard in my life.
The Commanders just better than any of those names.
And you got to say to yourself, I mean, this is just the Washington organization in a nutshell. Nothing they do ever works.
They can't do anything right, and it's actually I kind of like it. I love how they keep botching everything that they do, and it makes me, because I've never liked the Washington team. They were always I never was a big fan of Joe Gibbs or the Hogs or John Riggins. I never Art Monk. I like Art Monk. Because if you don't like Art Monk, I don't trust you. And they had that cornerback. What was his name? Green.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get 2 players I liked out of that organization. So they can
I
call
say
themselves whatever they
They
want.
untuck their balls from their vagina and just go back to the Redskins.
Nah.
Won't be such
No.
pussies.
Nah.
You
Come on,
have to.
Ryan.
You almost seem like you're.
We're not in that
once
era
they- once you
anymore.
change it,
know
you
how
can't go back.
everyone is.
Once you change,
I don't
it,
know
you
how
can't go back.
everyone is. I know how some people are, and I know how the Atlanta Braves and the Kansas City Chiefs are just fine.
Once you change it though, you can't go back. It's stupid. You're
Yeah.
gonna go back to it. No, it's stupid.
I think that they should ask the people of Washington, what their team should be named, and see collectively what most people would like. And I think that the Washington Redskins would score pretty high.
The Washington McFootball team.
And anybody outside of that circle really doesn't matter because they're not fans of the football team, nor should they have any say so on what you name your team. I mean,
I just think America doesn't like change.
I like the Redskins. I always thought the Redskins was cool. It was a cool color scheme. It was the Indian, the Redskin in the helmet was the same color as the helmet. Had the little feathers hanging off the back. I don't know. I dug it. I honestly don't know what's wrong with it. But there you have it, guys. That's the top 5 names as we speak.
If they were smart, they would get a whole new color, just change everything. Wash the stank of Dan Snyder away from you. This is not
last thing that I think they should do is go to a red, white, and blue theme. I don't want them to. It's too. I don't know. Come on.
That's too on the nose. Red, white, and blue.
It is.
That's Patriots. Yeah.
It's and if they do that, it's just that's cheap and
yeah, they just do a whole new rebrand. You have an opportunity, new ownership coming in to hey, this is what we're going to be going forward, and we're
looking at the.
Going to erase 20 years of failed history of under the Snyder era, and
I mean, this team's won several Super Bowls. I think they won about 3 Super Bowls. The Redskins have.
Last one was what, the 80s?
And look at it this way: who's the teams that are generally more successful? Is it the Chiefs or the Redskins, or is it the Braves or the Cleveland Indians? So I mean, your teams that are usually on the mark as far as bad decisions as an organization goes, are the teams that bitched out and changed their names. I'm going to continue to support the Chiefs and the Braves. I don't think there's anything wrong with what they're doing. We're going to talk some head coaches, guys. We talked over the past few days. Now, Mike Tomlin, he Leapfrog Bill Belichick. We talked about the reason why yesterday, because of the recent non-success of Bill Belichick that allowed Mike Tomlin to leapfrog him into second place, only behind Andy Reid. I'm going to go over the top 10. Let's go over these top 10 coaches, and I want you guys to tell me if Mike Tomlin is the only thing that's off on this in this list.
Okay.
Because all right, just hear me out.
All right, let's go.
The number one, of course, the number one top head coach heading into the 2023 season, fellas, is Andy Reid. I get it. Yeah, the guys, yeah. Number two, Mike Tomlin of the Pittsburgh Steelers. We haven't won a playoff game in 7 years. What have you done for me lately? Bill Belichick is in third.
Neither has Belichick done anything.
That's why they say that Mike Tomlin jumped over. Number four, here we go. You ready? We knew who the top three were.
Mm-hmm.
Number four, John Harbaugh, number four, best coach heading into season 4. Talk about what have you done for me lately?
Exactly.
Let's talk about this, Mike. John Harbaugh.
Since 2013.
Exactly. Like Derpy said, he hasn't done anything in years. No, way too high. Way too high.
Number 5, Pete Carroll.
Speaking again, what has he done? Yeah, okay. Right. Yeah, the Seahawks, they had a nice little rebound last year, but no.
And this is the very reason I drew this up to talk about this, because it's ridiculous. And when we get to the end of this list, I know what you're going to say. So let's move on. Number 6, the 6th best head coach entering the 2023 season in the NFL this year, behind Pete Carroll, is Sean Payton.
What?
The Denver Broncos.
He has his last couple years and the Saints were terrible. This guy's been out of football
Can you believe this? I can't even believe what I'm reading.
No.
So the top 6, Andy Reid, Mike Tomlin, Bill Belichick, John Harbaugh, Pete Carroll, and Sean Payton. 4 more. You guys ready for this? Are you guys ready for this?
Who made the list?
Mike Florio.
Number 7. Sean McVay of the Rams.
No.
A team going the total opposite direction.
No, he choked in that first Super Bowl, and he got lucky in this last one with that dominant defense.
I'm talking about choking. He only scored 3 points. Nobody's ever scored only 3 points.
Yeah, he outcoached himself in that first Super Bowl.
He got bailed in the second one. You know what I'm talking about.
I see you guys are liking this list just like I do. Number 8, the best head coach. These are the top 10 head coaches entering the 2023 season. Number 8, I'll give this guy some props. San Francisco 49er head coach Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, he's up
now
there.
This is a guy that deserves to be in this list.
He should be way up higher. He should
be top 3.
Yeah, top 3 or top 4 easily.
Number 9, Mike Vrabel.
No. No. Are we talking about former coaches who have touchdown receptions? Yes, they put them up there.
These must be people that were on the bus with Wiz Khalifa eating shrooms when they made this list. That's all I got to say.
What team is Mike for?
Tennessee.
Yeah, they're on drugs. Whoever made this list is on drugs.
Oh, my Lord.
And number 10. Now, let's think. Before I say number 10, let's think of some people who it could possibly be. Buffalo's been looking really good.
Yeah, Sean
Cincinnati's been looking really good. 2 right off the top of my head. The Eagles.
Watch be the Cowboys.
The Eagles that just went to the Super Bowl. You guys ready for number 10?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you one thing. It's none of those people you just mentioned. All right.
Number 10, Giants coach Dabble.
Number 10, Doug Peterson of the Jacksonville Jaguars, who I think maybe could have cracked the top 10 because of how the season played out last year. But
he took over that dumpster fire from Urban Meyer, and
stays at 10. Then yes,
yeah, if he can stay at 10. But again, think of the guys that didn't make this list. Think of your Bengals. Think of your Bills. Think of your Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh my God, so many good coaches that were.
So let me. That's what I'm saying. This off season, it's getting really out of hand. And you know what? I don't recall if it does this every year, but it almost seems like people are running out of things to talk about just because we went through all the steps so far. We went through the draft. We went through free agency. We went through the small camps. Now people are just kind of making things up and just throwing it out there just to hear themselves talk. I'm going to read this top 10 list of head coaches off to you one more time entering this season. Number 1, Andy Reid. Number 2, Mike Tomlin. Number 3, Bill Belichick. Number 4, John Harbaugh. 5, Pete Carroll. 6, Sean Payton. 7, Sean McVay. 8, Kyle Shanahan. 9, Mike Vrabel. And 10, Doug Peterson. Quite a few names that have been left off this list, I feel, that certainly deserve to be on there. The ones that I think that I have no reason at all being on here: Mike Vrabel, Sean McVay, Sean Payton, Pete Carroll, and even John Harbaugh.
Yeah.
What have they done?
I need what they're smoking.
Like, look at the Giants last year. You know, he made their coaching staff, that entire coaching staff made their terrible quarterback look like a competent quarterback. You know, he took that was a dumpster fire. The Jaguars, definitely a dumpster fire. I have no problem. Peterson,
no franchise has always been a dumpster fire. We just looked at their record.
They've had Jacksonville's had some pretty good runs there, Derpy. So yeah, but no,
the
like
record speaks for themselves the last 10 years, though.
Yes, but they've had some good runs in there. You gotta go past just what the talking points. You gotta look deep. But yeah,
and at this point, I think
where's like the Miami Mike McDaniels. That team.
Yeah,
he brought them around. You know, you lose your good quarterback, and he still remained competitive in that tough AFC East. This list, my God, it got worse as you kept reading it.
If you're going to throw in a name, also a name that's maybe a wild card, you could even go with the Jets coach just because of the team that they've put together in this offseason. You could say, okay, if we're going to go with a dark horse here and put him at the end of the list, maybe somebody like him, because there's a chance that they're going to be good with you bringing Aaron Rodgers. This Jets team is going to be much improved, I feel. And as I said, if you're going to start picking names like Mike Vrabel and throwing it out there, why don't you throw in a name like somebody that that is the Jets coach? But
Minnesota, again, look at Minnesota. That turnaround from this year, last year to coming into last season. My God, no one thought they would be that good.
We do have to move on. Mike Derpy, the Pittsburgh Steel Toes.
Huh?
The Pittsburgh Steel Toes. They are a rugby team.
Oh,
it was an expansion team just as of last year. This is their first season.
Rugby, huh?
Rugby. The Pittsburgh Steel Toes rugby team to host first home tournament tomorrow at Highmark Stadium where the Riverhounds play. So rugby is here, guys.
I saw that the other day and I totally forgot about it. I was like, all right.
I'm not a rugby guy, but you know what? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, like I'll occasionally watch it if it's on and I'm flipping through.
It's hard though.
It's a rough sport.
Yep.
What do they call it? Aussie rules football or something?
Yeah, there's a different one. Yeah, there's rugby, Aussie rules football. Oh,
Mike, I can't. I've said it a million times. It's time to talk about the website already, man.
Yinzers.com. Head on over there for everything. More links than what we have here. Emails on there. What else? Oh yeah, the merch store. Buy your Bob Nothing gear, boys.
It just blows me away how fast this time goes. We talked about head coaches. We talked about the Washington football team, and here we are. We're already at the end of the show. Guys, I do have another Angels trivia. Now, I knew this because I collected baseball cards. So if you want to put the timing into consideration with what I just said into this next question to try to figure out the answer, you can do so. But the question of the day is this, fellas. Which Angels pitcher was born without a right hand? Which Angels pitcher was born without a right hand? I think this went over, and we will get your answers in a moment. We are live here 7 days a week from Monday to Sunday, every day, every week, every month, every year, right here, 7 days a week. You can check us out. And the show that we do every day gets uploaded over on Spotify at 8:00 in the evening that same day in podcast form. So if you're at work, you're at the gym, you're whatever you're doing, you can put in your earbuds, check us out because we are on podcast form on Spotify, 8:00 every day, 7 days a week. All right, guys, the question of the day is this. Which Angels pitcher was born without a right hand? Yes, he had one hand. He would he would hold the glove under his arm. He would throw the ball and he would hurry up and put the glove on his nub and he would play with his nub and he would take the ball. It was it was crazy that anybody could even do this and to do it on a level such as the Major League Baseball circuit. Very impressive. This guy.
It's killing me. I know, like, if you say his name, but yeah, he's the pitcher who had one hand. Now I can't say his name. Oh my God. Because when we would play baseball as little kids, we'd always act like we were that guy to see if we can do it like he did. And oh my.
So the question of the day is this, fellas. Which Angels pitcher was born without a right hand? I'm going to start with Derpy. Derpy, who was born without their right hand?
I don't know. I'm gonna be real. I have no idea. So I'm gonna go. Mr. Righty.
All right, Mr. Righty. Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Go ahead and lock Derpy in, Mr. Righty. Good as answer as any. Mike, which Angels pitcher was born with no right hand? I think he had a brother that even played in the league. He had three hands. No, I'm just teasing. But I think that he had a brother in the league eventually. We're looking for a pitcher, Mike, who pitched for the Angels. I think he pitched for a few other teams, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh.
But the guy we're looking for was born without a right hand.
Can't remember.
Derpy says Mr.
name.
Righty.
My younger self is so mad at me right now because this guy was a legend, and I can't. I
couldn't agree with you more. Very, very good. He was an all-star,
I haven't thought about him in years, and then you bring him up. I'm like, yes, I know that. No,
it's before my time.
It is before your time, just slightly.
There's a lot of sports trivia that's before my time, and I know it. That's not an excuse, buddy. Ignorance is not an excuse.
Oh, even when he's in the state of he trying to figure the answer, he still could take stabs at Derpy.
But you have to.
Like you're bald.
And
Mike,
I give up. I give up.
So I'm gonna just give you Mr. Righty as well, just so I could lock you in. You want to make up a name?
Doug Whaley popped in my head, but that's,
all right,
that's not even close.
Doug Whaley, here we go,
Doug
Mr. Righty. Doug
mine.
Whaley. Which Angels pitcher was born without a right hand? The answer to this question, Mike, you will know it instantly. As soon as I say it, I'm convinced. I'm 100% sure. The fella's name was Jim Abbott.
Yes.
Jim Abbott. I did have a selection of answers to choose from, but I did know if I would have said it, would have gave it away entirely. The other selections were Burt Blyleven, Chuck Finley, Kirk McCaskill, and Jim Abbott. Would you have known it, Mike?
Immediately.
Yeah.
As soon as you said Jim, yep.
It was really cool.
It was cool.
If you get a chance, Derpy, go back and
pitcher, but he was all right.
Go back and watch some YouTube videos. I'm sure there's something on this. It was pretty amazing. And like I said, I think he pitched at an all-star level as well. So for a guy with one hand, super impressive. Derpy, you got anything before we take off, man?
I'm gonna go with the old saying. Appreciate the little things in life because it could be worse. You could be a Browns fan.
All right. I think we could all agree on that. Mike.
Football season's close, boys. Stay in there. Stay alive. So almost football season.
6 days till camp, 20 days till preseason. If it was 3 weeks from right now, we'd already have a preseason game under our belt. We play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 3 weeks from just yesterday. And finally, 50 days, 50 days. Larry Foote. Amount of days till the regular season starts again.
But boys.
At home against the 49ers, of course. So everybody's excited. Pirates back at it tonight, 9:08. I think that's everything, fellas.
Yeah, there's no late breaking news today. So we're
no late
good.
Breaking news. Guys are double checking. And that seems to be it. So, hey, everybody have a great day. We'll be back tomorrow to start a whole new week. For Derpy, Mike, myself, two dumb Yinzers, everybody have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.